With the relatively poor performance of Turn It Down, RCA were eager for the Sweet to come up with another hit single.
We were at my house and in my studio rehearsing and writing some new material when a phone call came through from the managing director of our record company, RCA, a guy called Jeff Hannington, and he said, "We need another single. We really desperately need another single." And he said, "I think you've got one on the last Desolation Boulevard album, but it's not recorded properly." And he suggested Fox on the Run, which was a band-written song. And I said, well, we're up for doing this. So we just went into a different recording studio than we've ever been in, Kingsway, owned by Ian Gillan and Roger Glover from Deep Purple at that time. We just rushed into the studio, did this. The record company were over the moon, and it became our biggest selling single ever. So this was the starting point of our American career as well, because we'd just come off the back of a top 10 hit, top 5 hit, I think, with Ballroom Blitz. And to have Fox on the Run as a follow-up was just phenomenal.
Fox on the Run reached number 2 in the UK and also enjoyed notable success in the US, reaching number 4.
We are now the producers, the writers, and we're having our biggest success ever. And it was just a fantastic moment to think, you know, wow, why have we waited so long? Plus, all that's happened now is because of other people's, should we say, infighting. It's brought the band tighter together. It's catapulted us into a different musical area, so that we're now in the magazines. We're now not some teen magazine. We're now in Music Express, Kerrang, Metal Hammer. We're in all of these magazines, and the whole thing has just shifted so fantastically that we couldn't wait to carry on.
Well, Fox on the Run showed us all. I thought, well, all right. But you see, having a one big hit like that, you've got to be able to follow it. And I'd have loved to have been able to sit down and write songs with them. We'd have come up with something. And I could see a long partnership there. They were desperately in need of moving on to being a stadium band.
Fox on the Run was a fabulous record, and it was a great pop song. But what happened after? Immediately after Fox on the Run, the answer's nothing.
The release of Fox on the Run signalled the end of the Sweets association with Chin and Chapman. The band were now confident in taking full control of their musical direction.
You see, what happened was, Mike and I were in California, and they were being managed at the time by a guy called David Walker, who became a very good friend of mine. And they wanted to go off with their own song, Fox on the Run, and go in the studio and make the record. They did it while Mike and I were in California. We were there for about 5 or 6 weeks, without us knowing. I like to believe that if they had brought the song to us and said, we really want to do this and we want to go into the studio and we want to do it, and they played, we would have said, great song, go off and do it. Now, they may say, no, that's not true, you wouldn't have said that. But I like to think we would have done, or maybe we would have said, great song, we'd quite like to be involved in the studio situation with you. But they did it behind our backs. We came back and we found that out, and we said, that's it, it's finished. Because we felt we'd been treated badly after all those hit records, and we felt we'd been treated deceitfully. I believe, from what I've heard since, that they were only too happy to continue to work with us after that. And I think they would have continued to want to write their own, and if they hadn't come up with the right song, they probably would have recorded ours. But we made the decision that we weren't going to work with a band that had treated us like that after all of that time. A band that we, got on really well with. They hadn't been straight with us. And all it needed was to just tell us. They hadn't been straight with us.
It would have been very churlish of somebody to have turned around and said, well, you're not going to work then. And I don't think that was, that was the name of the game. I mean, they had their deals for the really early material, their deals for the next part of the material, and all we see Fox on the Run as another venture. It's almost like 3 different careers, if you like. The early days of the real bubblegum things, the middle years of the hard rock and glam rock pop things, and Fox on the Run started us into the progressive, more serious rock area, which has run through till today.